Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bros Music Christian Podcast. I don't know, I butchered that completely. I was trying to do the name backwards, but I don't think it worked real well. But this is the Christian Music Bros Podcast with Brendan Burt. I'm your host. I'm your only host. Is I've had some news. I am. I've had a couple rounds of interviews and video calls with possible co-hosts. So stay tuned. I don't know if it's something I'm going to go forward with, or if if it's just going to be me, or if they're going to be full time, part time or what, but stay tuned up to the page on Instagram, Christian Music Bros Podcast, and you'll see more news. But today, I am with a very special guest in Miggy Sanchez. So I'm going to let Miggy introduce himself right now.
Yo, what's up, man? My name is Miggy Sanchez. I sing for the band Relent, and I'm excited to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. And like I said, it's nice to finally meet with you. We had time zone mishap. I think it happens more times than not. So it's great to finally
Uh-huh.
meet today because time zones are crazy.
Oh, they're horrible. Like I said earlier, we were talking. I think they're even more horrible when you're on tour, and you forget. Oh yeah, we got an hour to get to the venue, not realizing it's already an hour ahead. You're already late. So
Yeah, exactly. And this is actually the first time I messed up time zones, and it won't be the last time. So if you're listening to this, please don't mess up your time zones. It's gonna happen, but and I know some of you. I was looking at Spotify stats. Some of you are streaming from France, so whoever's streaming from France, I appreciate you.
there
I don't know
you
what
go.
time it is in France, but anyway, thank you for joining, Miggy.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to be here, bro. Thanks for having me.
Let's start just nice and easy. Can you tell us a little bit about your music background? Like, how did you get started in music?
Man, music has been a part of my life since I was a baby. From my earliest ages, man, I remember just jamming music, bro. My grandfather was a big impact in that. I mean, he was a soul guy, so stuff like BB King and Freddie Fender, stuff like that. I remember really early, just kind of being drawn to it in his big old Chevy truck. This is what 80. This is in the 90s, so 90, 91 when this is happening. Um, and music has always been a big part of me, man. So my dad's a musician. He's played in bands growing up, so I was always around it. His practices and stuff like that, shows, gigs. So it's literally been what I've been around my whole life. So to say that I wouldn't do music is kind of a long shot, you know. And then once you get older, it's one of those things you realize, okay, I'm really not good at anything else but music, so I'm gonna stick to that. So yeah, I stuck it out, man, and here I am, 36 years later, still doing music. So it's pretty cool, man.
Very cool. I have a question about more music, but we'll flip into that in a little bit. You're with the band Relent now. Can you tell us about how a little bit how you got started with Relent or how you founded Relent, etc.
For sure, yeah. So I started Relent in 2016, and it was birthed out of just an adoration and a heart for Jesus, man. That I had newly had found. I mentioned I grew up around music. I didn't grow up in church. I didn't grow up in an environment that kind of necessitated any type of faith. So I knew God existed, just didn't have any correlation or relation of how desperate I was for a savior. Fast forward to 2013, Jesus rescues me. I give up everything. At the time I was, playing in secular bands and stuff, and I gave it all up and to follow Jesus, and I was just submitted to him. Uh, in church, serving, growing in the Lord, man. And then 2016, I felt him kind of nudge me back into writing music again, and that's how Relent was birthed. And here we are. What is it? 9 years
Yeah, about
later.
9 years. Yeah, about 9 years.
9 years later, man, and it's still alive, man. So I'm blessed to be able to do it, man. Again, it was just a an expression of what Jesus had done to me, and the only way I knew how to express it was through music, and so that started Relent.
That's really cool. And I've been following you guys since the beginning. I have your debut album. I tell all the Christian artists I meet with this, and I have over 600 Christian CDs in my room, and I over have like 300 mainstream rock CDs in my room. So I'm like a big Christian and rock. Like I'm in the middle of all that. And
That's so
your
cool,
album
man.
was actually your debut album with Freelance was one of the first albums I actually bought on CD.
Oh wow, dude, that's so cool, dude.
So it's a little fun fact. Like my collection has just grown increasingly since like 2016, if that shows anything.
Dude, that's super cool, man. Heck yeah. Do you have
Yeah.
do you have the other ones on record on CD?
Not yet.
Okay, just send me after this. Send me your address. I'll send them to you.
Cool. I have what was the album name? Shoot, it was I think it
So
was the
I mean, if you have heart attack, correct?
let me double check. I'm on Spotify right now. Give me a second.
Go for it, go for it. Yeah, that'll be the
Hey,
first thing
people
that
watching
came.
this podcast, sorry, like you know me. I like this podcast being randoms and we're in a random zone because
Yeah,
random is the best way to go with everything. The album
yeah.
I have is actually it's not your first album. It was Heavy. I actually owned the album Heavy. My bad.
Gotcha. Okay, I think I have a few copies of Heart Attack here at my house. I'll send you Heart Attack, and I'll send you World War Me for sure, man.
Thank you. But I'm just saying, like, I just I knew it was one of the albums. I couldn't think of the name on top of my head, so I apologize. Like I said,
Ah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
you were talking. Since we brought this up, you were playing with secular bands. El Nino, I cannot pronounce the name. I think I pronounced that right. We
Yeah,
said a lot of mainstream rock actually too. Like it's like if I could rebrand this, if I had another podcast, it would be all about rock music or movies. So, can
yeah.
you tell us how it was working with like a secular rock band, but now you're in like a Christian rock band? Is it? I know I heard from a lot of people in the industry, I guess per se, that the rock industry is a really cool industry because everyone's supporting, and I see a lot more now of these secular rock bands joining these Christian rock bands and colliding forces. Is there
Yeah.
what do you say there's any similarities or any differences? I know obviously there's a big difference, like it's Christian music and not like crazy like there's
Yeah.
swearing sometimes or like there's a lot of behind the scenes that some artists like do drinking and everything. But like, what's the difference of being in like a secular rock band with a Christian rock band?
There's not a lot of differences if I'm being honest. I think El Nino came to me after, and I'm still currently in El Nino. They came to me after the Relent thing already had kind of given birth. So
Hmm.
um, it was a thing that I was already kind of like cemented into, or just really getting my feet wet with the Christian industry. Being in the secular industry before, I knew what to expect and what it looked like. But when it came to starting Relent, I was still getting my feet wet and understanding how that side of the industry worked, expecting that there was going to be a difference. And really finding out there's not too much difference. Businesses ran the same way. I mean, there's amazing people in the Christian industry that I'm still connected with that are like phenomenal. But there's amazing people that I've met in the secular industry that are really close to my heart and dear friends of mine as well. So to say that they're different, it's not really so much so. But my
I
heart,
was
oh yeah, go ahead, brother.
I was just curious because like I hear from people like some people say some industries are completely different. Like when I met with like I've heard from country people, like I haven't had them on my podcast, but like the country music aspect of like they're strictly different, like Christian music and country, but those are blending together now and everything just every genre they blend together, but there's a lot of difference from a lot of people, like differential like I'm trying to think of the word for it. I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
can't think of
good.
the word of it right now, but like the blend is different, I guess.
I guess so. I guess for some people it's going to be different. For me, the industry is ministry for me, man, and that's really the only reason I'm back in the industry is ministry, and that's my heart, and that's kind of like it's all I think about, and I'm like I don't know, man. It's that's the lens I see through, So for me, it's going to be a different experience, because I see it through that lens. I really believe my call is to be a light in a dark place, and I've known that since I started Relent, that's what the Lord was going to do. He revealed to me little by little, even today He's still revealing and doing crazy things, man. And it's crazy how it happens. But again, I guess for me, it's going to be a little different. I've always seen it as it's not just a job. I've been strategically placed here to make an impact for Jesus, and so my perspective will be a lot different probably from other people.
Yeah. I was just curious because I like to pick the brain because not every day you see someone that was in like a secular band going into Christian music. Usually, unfortunately, it's the opposite. You see a lot of people going from Christian music to secular music.
For sure. And a lot of times, I mean, everyone's story is different, but I think a lot of times, at the end of the day, we're musicians and we need work, just as the roofer needs a
Exactly.
roofing job, So sometimes doors open up for work like that. And I've been blessed to have both work and ministry kind of correlate. As weird as it sounds, I know it's hard for people to kind of understand, but Bible's very clear on do everything as you're doing it to the Lord, and that's just how I treat it. And I treat it as if I'm playing for the Lord, and so yeah, it's cool, man. I love it.
Yeah, I was just curious your thoughts about it, just because, like I said, it's just I like to hear different point of views from everyone's like heart and like
For sure.
vision on that topic, I guess. Sorry, I
Absolutely.
lose
That's a good
my train
question.
of thought.
No, that
Uh,
was a good question.
looking forward to you guys just released a new EP back here in 2023. Do you have any new music coming out or you're planning to do in 2025? If you can't say anything, I completely understand, but
No, no, for sure.
or any like plans for 2025, like tours or anything?
Absolutely. As far as touring goes, I'm not too sure. It's kind of on the hinge right now. Just like this last year, even since Where Will Me released, these last couple of years have been just economically not feasible for bands. Especially bands like Relent. We don't have the support that a big band would have, pretty much independent in what we do. So when it comes to touring, man, most of it is out of pocket. And so if you just, again, the feasibility of it is kind of like impossible at this point. But as far as 2025 goes, obviously we're looking for a different stand economically, and maybe that'll open up some doors. We do have shows booked throughout the year, festivals and stuff like that we'll be attending and playing. But as far as tours now, as far as new music goes, it's already written. There's already, excuse me, there's already stuff being written. There's already stuff recorded. Um, and it's just a matter of strategy at this point and figuring out, I guess, what I want to do with Relent. Again, I've been so busy with El Nino that it's like I've
Mhm.
almost had to put it on the back burner. Not that I wanted to, but I just tour so much with El Nino right now. It's like, I want to give it my full attention. I don't want Relent just to be a used to or had to idea. It's just it's something I'm very passionate about and I love it. But definitely, there's new music coming out very soon. It's ready to go. Again, it's just planning strategy at this point.
That's really cool. And for those who there is a show or festival, or even if it's just like an acoustic set of Rewind, if that ever happens.
we
You're
did
kind of
one. We did one
opposite,
acoustic set
I
a
was
couple
saying,
years back. That was cool.
but you're complete opposite of acoustic. I recommend to
Yeah, for
check
sure.
out Miggy and his band, no matter what they do, even if it's just Miggy, I would recommend go checking out his music and everything. We just have a few extra not time, few extra minutes with you today.
Yeah,
I like to give the floor to the artist to speak about anything on their heart or anything they want to share that I might have missed or anything. So the floor is yours.
cool, man. Man, no, I'm just excited to be where I'm at and do what I do. I'm very passionate about Jesus. And for me, that's at the forefront of everything I do. Am I a perfect individual? Heck no, but I'm doing my hardest to represent and walk out the call that I have in being a light in a dark place and being a musician in the music industry, and so for me it's like, man, I'm grateful for the support that's come over the years, the fans. I've had some tremendous people that are still in contact with me that man, I love to death, and they get it. They get the vision. They get the call, and they support it. So, dude, I'm just excited to be where I'm at. I love music, and I'm so passionate about it. But ultimately, I just want people to know that anything you hear from me, in either band, I'm doing everything I can to represent Jesus well, and that's really my heart, man.
Awesome. And everyone, I recommend listening to what Miggy said. I would recommend just replaying that, hearing those words from Miggy. And Miggy, I appreciate your time joining me today on the podcast. Like I
Sure.
know some of it was a little random, but that's what we get with this podcast. That's the
Dude,
fun of it
random's
is.
the way to go, man. I feel like when they're like over structured, it's kind of like predictable. You know what I mean?
Overstructured is overrated. Maybe that's what I
Over
should
structured is overrated. That's a lyric right there.
right there. But everyone who's watching this, thank you for tuning in to Christian Music Bros podcast with Brendan. And I'll see you guys next time. And just be safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everyone.